Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott and I'm the Emperor of Stomaria. Today we're continuing our series on the history of Stomaria.
This is how nations are built and empires are forged. For every nation that becomes integrated into the empire, for every territory that we acquire, for every citizen that joins us, for every drop of water we collect, for every seed that we sow, for every watt of energy we produce, for every silver bar that we stamp, we are securing our future.
Stomaria's fourth year of existence, the time between June 2022 and June 2023, was nothing short of extraordinary. It was so dramatic and it was so exciting. And the history of Stomaria, when it is written in more detail, will cover this time period in more detail. I don't doubt that for a minute. But the long and the short of it is that this is the year in which things truly started to happen. Land was being utilised. We were growing our own food, supplying our own water, generating our own energy. We were hosting events. We were meeting with other Stomarian citizens and the citizens of the other member states of the empire. We had never been more active. We had never been more physical in the real world, never been more present. And this resonated with so many people that our social media followings, they continue to spike. The people applying for citizenship and gaining citizenship, attaining citizenship, that continued to spike. All of the major milestones that we wanted to accomplish were being accomplished in this year. And in the following years, we will of course build upon this. But this is the year in which things truly started to happen. We truly put our foot down and we accomplished everything that we wanted to accomplish. Now, this obviously was in the face of immense opposition from outside forces, in the sense that there were no shortage of detractors that wanted to pull us down. But no matter what obstacle we faced, no matter who was in our way, we overcame all of it. Our fourth year started off exceptionally well, when it was agreed in June 2022 that the Kingdom of Wayward would sell one of the plots that made up their territory to Stomaria itself, and this was concluded in September 2022. The imperial family of Stomaria and royal family of Wayward met with Princess Claire of Lithua in Wales to discuss how we might build closer ties with one another. We exchanged silver Stomarian stater coins for salmon and wine and enjoyed the barbecue that the Lithuans had prepared for us. To honour our new ally, the only external trade partner of the empire at the time, we wished to mark the relationship by featuring Lithua on the next batch of stater coins which arrived in August 2022. In September 2022, we declined an invitation to MicroCon 2023, outlining our pragmatic reasons and rationale for not wanting to attend in a public video in what has become one of the most popular videos on our YouTube channel. and our position in wanting to differentiate ourselves from the micronational community was made even more apparent. In October 2022, we completed another trade agreement with the Commonwealth of Dunland, with silver stater coins being exchanged for various jams. A few days later, we published a condemnation of Westarctica and a libelous article that was published in its name, in which, because we'd publicly refused to attend MicroCon 2023, Travis of Westarctica published an entire article stating that I was a fascist and that had been inspired by white supremacists and neo-Nazi groups. This fully exposed what much of the micronational community is truly like throughout its ranks, and further highlighted why we have less and less desire to be affiliated with it. In November 2022, Consul David of Vesta became a Stomarian citizen and integrated the Republic of Vesta into the Empire as an observer state. A few days later, after a month-long application process, the Duchy of Bran-Howell, which was based in Transnistria, was also, albeit reluctantly, integrated into the Empire as our second associated state. This, however, proved to be the single greatest error in Stomaria's short history. A new uniform for the Imperial Guard was introduced later that month, acting as both a ceremonial and a field uniform in one, due to it being made to a military-grade specification and thus was far more durable. Stomaria and Vesta concluded yet another trade agreement, with silver Stomarian stater coins from Stomaria being exchanged for copper bars from Vesta that they had melted down and refined themselves. The number of Stomarian citizens continued to grow, from 3 citizens in June 2020 to 25 citizens by the beginning of December 2022. Throughout December 2022, Stomaria underwent some radical changes. Due to a disagreement over the term observer state, Bran-Howell and Seleucia left the Empire. Bran-Howell, and to a lesser extent Seleucia, then went on a recruitment campaign to encourage people to move to Transnistria, a pro-Russian breakaway state on the border of Ukraine. While in the Empire, albeit only for 5 weeks, Bran-Howell was forbidden from encouraging citizens of the Empire to move out there for this very reason. Now outside of the Empire, but still associated with Stomaria by some, we began to receive messages and emails to ask if these recruitment campaigns had something to do with Stomaria itself. To ensure that there was no doubt as to what the situation was, a video was published in February 2023 in order to inform as many people as possible that this was not sanctioned by Stomaria. Later on in December 2022, as a part of a wider effort to distance ourselves from micronationalism and the pointless exercises and toxicity it entailed, we declared our intention to abandon the term Micronation in referring to ourselves. Our already minimal involvement in that community was ceased completely, and we focused on building something genuine and generational. In January 2023, we launched a charity initiative in which we'd be donating a percentage of our revenue to charitable causes. In February 2023, we began installing raised beds at Southwood and distributing these to Stomarian citizens so that they could utilize them to grow herbs, fruits, and vegetables. This process was ongoing right up until our 4-year anniversary. Later that month, we also started utilizing small amounts of solar power and made the decision to revoke the membership of Norwick and Moreland, no longer counting them as nations within the Empire due to inactivity. In March 2023, we introduced new silver Stomarian stater bars, a more accessible medium of exchange with smaller premiums that we could play active role in creating. I also met Lord Harvey, the first ever Lord of Stomaria, for the first time. In May 2023, the Republic of Vesta went from being an observer state to a full member state, once they'd acquired over 40 acres of land in Wyoming. And of course, in June 2023, we celebrated the 4-year anniversary of Stomaria by hosting the first ever Imperial Summit, in which the citizens and supporters of the Empire could come together and build the community that we've been striving for all this time. As I said, this time in Stomaria's history was nothing short of extraordinary. We had accomplished virtually everything that we had set out to do on a small scale. We had laid the foundations to build upon, but we had done it. We had accomplished it. We had acquired the silver and utilized it as a medium of exchange. We had acquired the land and utilized it for a wide range of purposes, growing our own food, supplying our own water, producing our own energy, hosting events, meeting citizens, really building a real sense of community. And we had integrated others into the Empire that were going to add value, a tangible benefit to the wider Stomarian community. And this was only the tip of the iceberg. Our attempt to differentiate ourselves from the cesspit of the micronational community was ultimately successful. Our abandonment of the term micronation to define ourselves going forward would eventually lead us to attain higher levels of citizenship numbers, higher levels of social media followings, higher levels of support from our own community, the vast majority of which had never defined themselves as micronationalists. So this change of pace, this changing of the lanes, this abandonment of the term micronation and micronationalism to define ourselves, this was probably the most important development within Stomaria's short history, because we had taken the step to remove ourselves from that. Micronationalism is not nation building, and this is something that I want to reiterate time and again. If you are looking to establish a nation, then you need to do so without referring to micronations or micronationalism, because ultimately that is something else entirely. I'm not really sure what it is, but it is not nation building. And this period in our history really emphasized what you can do outside of that community. Virtually no interaction whatsoever from a certain point in our history, and we have accomplished so much more. So, with all that in mind, the next installment of this will be next year, when we have attained our 5-year anniversary status. And I will release another video covering the time period between June 2023 to June 2024. So if you enjoyed this video and you wanted to show support for Stomaria, then please feel free to give this video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.